right. Good morning. Good morning. And welcome to Rasa Yoga Wednesday. This will most likely be the last class in the Facebook format, and then I'm gonna do more of a Zoom style class starting next week. So just be on the lookout for that. Today, you can come into a comfortable seat, but you will want to have a couple blocks and a strap or anything like that works to support you in your practice. We're going to work on strengthening the vessel, which is something I talk about a lot in my regular classes, but this will be the theme of today. I often use the tarot or oracle cards for inspiration, and the archetype deck, it's by Kim Krans, who writes The Wild Unknown, and it's incredible. Even if you're not into tarot or oracle cards, it's very mythic, and you learn a lot about different archetypes. And the thing about archetypes is that we all embody all of these archetypes in different ways, and it's a great way to reflect on who we are and how we are working within these symbols that are universal. So the one that I chose today is the vessel. I'm going to read you what Kim Krans has to say about it. She's also an artist, and she does beautiful drawings as well, if you're a visual person. So come to your seat. I'm on a block to elongate my spine. And then take your hands we'll come to Yana Mudra to begin. So thumbs and pointer fingers together, thumbs and index fingers can rest on your thighs. We'll have hands down to ground, down to the earth. We're in our last days of Gemini season, and we're coming into a Mercury retrograde as well. We have a lot of planets retrograde, and we also have massive solar eclipse coming, and summer solstice, and Cancer season. So it's been a big year. It's continuing, and we're right at the midpoint. So the solstice is going to be that middle point of the year where the day is the longest, and so it's coming back to the center of things. It's a way to come back to the center point, the midline. So Yana Mudra helps us do that. It helps us come back to the inner self. All right, so soften your gaze, or you can close your eyes. Root down through your seat and reach up through the crown of your head, and feel a lengthening move through the spine as you relax your shoulders down away from your ears. Navel can draw in a little bit, and that's going to start to build the strength of the vessel. So the vessel is the body, the container, the cup. The vessel may be the most powerful archetypal form on earth. It is everywhere. Cups hold liquid, stoves hold fire, our bodies hold organs, our homes hold families. Through the simple act of separation, the vessel protects what it contains. Nests protect the eggs, savings account protect our earnings. Even the planets are contained within their circular orbit. When this card appears, it's time to assess what is being held together and how. Is the vessel too tight? Is it too loose? Is it broken? Is it leaking? Is it empty, or is it full? Or perhaps there is no vessel at all and the contents are spilling in every direction. It is natural for structures to be formed and eventually fall apart. And that's what we're seeing happening around us in the greater collective. The vessel has a life cycle that must be honored. It is time for you to build, break, or repair. You must find out for yourself. The physical body is the most sacred vessel of all. It is the one in which you reside from your first breath to your last. It may need your attention. The mentor and the healer must pay particular attention to this archetypal form. Healing cannot be sustained without a strong container. So that's why we will build the vessel. Building the vessel will, create that strong container so that we can have this sturdy foundation and a sturdy home for our spirit. Start to deepen and lengthen your breath. So longer breath, same, filling up 360 degrees like a balloon through the breath. And then as you exhale, you're gonna push the breath out and draw your navel in and empty out the breath. So it's gonna be like a balloon-like inhale, expansive through the lungs, the rib cage. As you exhale, you're gonna pull the navel in and empty the breath fully. Start to cultivate a pause at the top and bottom of your breath, creating more space. And try to bring the breath, as you breathe in, into the back of your lungs as well. We often ignore that area where there's even more lung tissue to support your breath. So we want to use all the functions of the container. So it's like the use it or lose it type thing. Take a moment to feel your own container, your own vessel, your body. Notice how it feels. And then go within the container, bring the awareness within the container, within the vessel, and you then realize that you are not your vessel, right? You are something else that resides in your vessel. So check in with that higher aspect of yourself, that inner knowing, your higher voice. And then take your hands together, palms together in Anjali Mudra. We come, we bring the hands to the midline of the body, to the center of the body. So there's many, the midline runs through the body. It runs through your Hridaya, your heart space, not your physical heart, but your heart, your feeling heart, your spiritual heart. It runs along your spinal column. If you think about your spinal column, that is housing all of your energetic centers, your nerves. And so we come to the center. And we stand and we sit strong in our container. We feel like we are strong, so we can jump within, we can look within and connect both within and without, above and below, universal and personal soul. Take a moment to set an intention for yourself. It could be maybe about your physical vessel or for your internal spirit, or both. And then if it feels good for you, you can set an intention, a prayer, or a wish for the collective, which is going through this massive crumbling and restructuring. Which is much needed, in my opinion. Take another breath here. And then we'll start to blink our eyes open. Release your hands, come off of your prop and sit on your seat now. Switch the cross of your legs Take your hands to your knees, and we'll just start to stir the vessel, moving around your hips, and then go in the other direction. Starting to move in a rhythmic way, and then we'll come back to center, re-root, re-rise. Take your left hand to the earth and then reach overhead, palm towards the floor, plug the shoulder into the socket, and then start to kind of curl towards the floor and reach on a long diagonal. And then bend your elbow, open it up. We're just gonna wax and wane a few times. You might circle your arm or any movement that feels good for you. And then come back to that stretch. We're gonna come to the other side, reach up and over, left side. Lengthen through the outer, rib, actually fingertip all the way down to the hip. Ribs separating, and then start to reach, curl the heart towards the floor. And then we'll start to pulse a bit, opening, maybe circling, and then re-reach. Do any movement that feels good for you. Come back to your reach. And then inhale, we'll come up to our center, and we're gonna come down to our backs. Here you will want your block and your strap. So one block, one strap. Lie down and then reach long through your full vessel. You're gonna interlace your fingers, point your fingers towards the, or behind you, and then squeeze your legs together, point your toes, and come into this full vessel stretch. Pull your rib cage towards the earth, navel to spine, and it should feel challenging. Navel is activated, belly is activated. And then start to flex your wrists and your ankles. And then point, and then flex, and then do a circle both ways. And then take a big, nice, organic stretch for your own self, and then we'll pull the knees into the chest, give a squeeze, rock from hip to hip. And then take your feet to the earth as wide as the mat, scoot your bum to the left a couple inches, and then take wide wings through your arms, knees go to the right. Now locate your left hip, reach your left outer hip towards your left knee, like outer edge of your knee, and you might feel a longer stretch through that left side. Take another breath. And then we'll come back to our center, hips to center, and then to the right, 2 inches. This is so the spinal column stays in line, and we can, keep that strong vessel for the energetic centers and the nervous system as well. Take your right outer hip towards your right knee, lengthen the right side of your waist. Let your arms be wide, shoulders heavy, heart spins towards the sky. Take another full and deep breath, Ujjayi breath if you practice that. Just toning the back of the throat and bathing it in your breath. Your vessel also is the house of your breath, as the reading mentioned. Come back to your center, grab your block. We're gonna start to strengthen the midsection of the body. So go according to what feels best for you. Take the block to the shins, flex your feet, squeeze the block. Now get your knees to stack your hips. For more support, you can grip the sides of your mat or just palms flat, whatever feels good. Now draw your back to the earth, tailbone to the earth. Take a breath in, and then as you breathe out, start to lower the heels. We're gonna lower and lift. Inhale and exhale. And if you want more, you can lengthen your legs as you extend. Here, we don't want to cultivate a big curve in the back, so keep drawing navel to spine. We'll take a couple more. Keep breathing. Pull the block in. Take the block the long way to your right thigh, close like to the top of your thigh towards the knee. Take your right elbow firm to your right, to the block, I'm sorry. Lift your head, cradle your head in your hands, and then we're gonna start to squeeze right elbow towards left knee and start to lengthen left leg out. Pull the left knee back in and then lengthen. Keep drawing navel to spine. Keep hugging right knee to right elbow. And then we're gonna lengthen the leg. Hold that left leg long. Pulse the elbow, right elbow towards right knee. 2, 1. Pull left knee back in. Switch sides. Left elbow. Cradle your head so the neck can be supported and the head is heavy in the hands. Lengthen. And lift. Now you're squeezing left side the whole time. You'll probably start to notice the vessel warm. Start to lengthen, stay, and then we're going to squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Pull the knee in, release. Take a moment, take the feet flat, let the knees knock in. Actually, grab your other block. We're going to do one more core exercise. Place the block between your shins. Let's go the long wide way. Take your hands to your other block, the wide way. There's so many ways. Squeeze your legs. Start to lengthen your legs and reach your arms over your head and then hover your heart. Squeeze, squeeze. Hug everything towards the midline. We'll hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then pull everything in. Now we'll place the blocks to the sides. Maybe slide them towards the front of your mat. Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees out wide. Take a few breaths. So that's like the definition of hugging everything in and squeezing your midline. Couple more breaths, just feeling energy flow through. And then take your feet flat, hip distance. We'll come into a bridge pose. Grip the sides of your mat, lift and lengthen your hips, and squeeze your inner thighs towards each other. Notice your glutes. They're firm, they're toned, but you're not squeezing the most that you can. So release a little bit. Reach your kneecaps over your toes. And then on your next exhale, start to curl down bone by bone all the way to your tailbone. Take the feet as wide as the mat, knees will knock in, and then start to sway side to side through the knees. I always like my arms over my head, it just feels free for me, but you can do as you wish, maybe wide to the sides. Come back to your center, hug your knees into your chest, rock and roll a little bit, maybe some circles around your low back. And then hands behind your thighs, rock and roll up to modified boat. Lengthen the spine, gaze forward. You might release the hands. You might lengthen your legs, but hug the thighs in towards each other. Plug the shoulders back, one more breath. And then start to cross your ankles, roll over your shins, come to tabletop. Hands and knees, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And then we'll come right into a cat-cow. So inhale, lengthen and lift, arch the spine, draw the heart forward. Exhale, round and curl. We'll do this a few times. I forgot the strap for your back. It's okay, we'll do it later, no worries. Come to a neutral spine, so navel up and in, heart forward, hips back. Feel some length even in this neutral position. Look at your hands. You're gonna spread your fingers wide apart. Shoulder distance through your palms, tuck your toes, hover your knees about an inch off the floor. Keep the same shape as your neutral tabletop. Take another breath in. As you breathe out, come into down dog. Stretch it out for a breath. And then rise to the ball mount of your feet. Lift your heels and then bend your knees. Take your heart towards your thighs. And then we're gonna take the weight into the left hand, a little light through the right, and then over. Your hips sway as well. Do this a few times. Creating space in the rib cage again. Come back to center. Start to pedal your feet one at a time. Take a little walk. And then come back to your center. Just come into a nice full down dog for a couple breaths that feels good for you. And then rise again to the tippy toes. Deep bend in the knees. You're going to take your gaze towards your thumbs. Breathe in, and then on your exhale, we're going to hop forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, come to a forward fold. Uttanasana, root the feet. Lengthen your heart towards your shins. Press down and wide through your heels. Draw your crown towards the earth. Start to heel toe the feet wide, probably as wide as your mat. And then bend your knees a lot. Take opposite elbows, shake the head out, and sway side to side. Let the crown be heavy. Relax through the shoulders. Come back to center. Reach forward, tented fingertips. Functional forward fold. And then ears between the arms. A little hover of the rib cage over the thighs. A slight bend in the knees. And then pull your hips back over your heels. Take a full breath up and down the length of your spine. And then start to heel toe the feet to hip distance. Come to that halfway lift. Hands are going to be at the heart. Unlock the knees, strengthen the legs. You're like a figure 7. And this is challenging. Firm through the legs, root the feet to the earth, and then we're gonna inhale to rise to stand. Interlace your fingers. Pointer fingers will reach. Actually, let's just come to Anjali. Reach up through Anjali. Your left thumb can cross over your right. And my teacher calls this vessel mudra. So we use the whole body as the mudra. We create a flow of energy, a flow of empowerment through the entire vessel. Strength, length, we're connecting earth to sky. We are a conduit of energy. We are we are the ones that carry our own energy. So how do you want to carry yourself? How do you want to build your vessel? And how do you want to exist inside of the vessel? Start to cactus your arms to the sides, spread your fingers wide, draw your navel in, a little bit long through your tail, root the feet and start to open the heart towards the sky. So come into a back bend. On your next breath in, root the feet, reach up through your arms. And then on your exhale, hands draw through the heart, hinge the hips, and come into forward fold. Step back to plank. Come into a nice long line. Plank is another really strengthening pose for the vessel, for the midline. You can really feel, the full body working. Take another breath. On your next exhale, just the knees lower. Take your hips back to stack your knees, come to tented fingertips, and walk out for puppy pose or Anahatasana. You can Lift the elbows and the armpits, and then relax the heart and let the head rest. Create length from fingertips all the way to hips. Come forward to your bellies, grab your blocks. Take your block between your shins, thin or wide, whatever you can get. Take your other block between your hands. For now, in a wide way like we did before, you're gonna squeeze the block and press down into your toenails. And actually we'll wait for the other block. So just reach back, squeeze the back block and press down through your feet. Squeeze, squeeze, and then lengthen and lift. Belly button up and in, heart reaching forward. Take wide tented fingertips to the side, keep the legs active, squeeze and root, and then inhale, lengthen, lift the heart. Come up as much as it feels good for you. Lengthen lower on your exhale. Do this a couple times. Lower down all the way. Tuck your toes. You're going to keep your block, palms by your sides. Press up to your modified push-up or full push-up, and then we'll all land in plank. Sorry, I have to sneak forward a little bit. From here, take your right hand to center. Roll the heels to the right. You're in Vashisthasana. Left hand to the sky. Squeeze the block. Lengthen from tail to crown. Flex your feet. Come back to center, keep the block. Left hand forward and to center. Right arm to the sky, navel in. Side plank. Come back to center. Come to down dog. Take a breath, you can bend your knees, you still have your block. And then you're gonna gaze forward. We're gonna hop forward with the block, so see if you can squeeze the midline. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, rise up. Reach out to the sky. Take hands to Anjali, just cross left thumb over right, come into your full vessel. Now the block is just gonna help you squeeze everything into the midline. It's just a tool to activate your vessel. Draw your hands down to your heart, come into your chair. Utkatasana. Reach out to the sky, keep squeezing the block. Sometimes you'll put the block between your thighs as well. I love the strength that the shins in gives the midline. Feels so strong, doesn't it, to just squeeze, squeeze. Feel that strength. Sit a little deeper, take another breath in. As you breathe out, come to forward fold. We're gonna hop back. You can take a few hops. Come to plank. Still have the block. Breathe in. Exhale, lower down to the belly. This time, grab your other block, the wide way. Squeeze the bottom block. Reach forward, arms are straight, and then reach the block up. With your hands, we'll keep the legs rooted for now. So reach forward. Squeeze your arms together, palms together. It's really hard. Try to straighten the arms. Exhale, lower down. You can remove your block from your legs. Take a moment to breathe. And then we'll come to Sphinx. So forearms to the earth, root your palms, gaze forward, neck long, chin back, heart wide. And then grab your block, sorry I lied about that. Place the block between your hands, like so the thumbs frame the long side and the index fingers, pointer fingers frame the sides. And then tuck your toes, come to modified forearm plank, lift the hips, and then lift your knees. And then start to walk in for your dolphin dog. Draw the heart towards the thighs. Keep the palms rooted. And then press down into your hands, rise to down dog. Place the block to the side. Take a breath. And then we're gonna inhale, right leg rises. And then start to lengthen and lift the leg, open the hip, bend the knee. You can rotate your ankle, keep that left shoulder lifted, armpit up. And then re-square. Re-square your hip, flex your foot, take a breath in. Exhale, knee to chest, shoulders over the wrists. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, curl in, stay here. Give your right elbow a tap. Give your left elbow a tap. Take a light step through and come to your runner's lunge. Frame your foot with your blocks. Lengthen your back leg long. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, straighten your front leg. Draw right outer hip back. Just pulsing a few times, letting the legs get a nice stretch, hips as well. And then come back to your lunge. Take your left hand to the earth. Reach up, come to a nice open twist. Keep the left hip lifted. Reach nice and long, earth to sky. Take a breath in. Now as you breathe out, sweep the hand back behind you and then right hand to left. So right hand touches the left hand. Spin your right toes towards your left thumb. Come into your Skandasana. So move from side to side a few times. Pulsing, hi. Hands or no hands. And then we're gonna meet in a wide-legged fold. So reach forward. I'm gonna turn around. It's just not a good view. So reach nice and long through your arms for a functional wide-legged fold. Unlock the knees, ears between arms. Nice long stretch through the spine. Walk the hands in, you're in a halfway lift. Lengthen, heels in, toes out, and then come up to goddess. Knees nice and wide. Reach up. You could interlace with Uttara Bodhi. If you've done that before, you interlace all of the fingers, pointer finger to the sky, or all fingers to the sky, left thumb over right. Take left forearm to left thigh, reach long, and then switch. One more time each side. And then come back to your center, touch the earth, re-parallel your feet, you're in a halfway lift. Walk back to your right foot, towards the same side of your mat that you began. Plant your hands, and then we'll step back to plank. Flow through a vinyasa of your choice. Whatever feels good in your body. It could be that you skip the vinyasa. And we'll meet in down dog and take 3 breaths there. Nice long breaths. You can think of your breath as clearing and filling your vessel. So inviting the breath in and out like a guest. Lift your left leg up. Start with a square hip, then point and open. You can bend your knee. Keep that right shoulder lifted. Unlock the right knee even. And then reach long, breathe in. Exhale, knee to chest, shoulders over the wrist, navel up and into the spine. Reach long and up. Draw in, hover, left elbow tap, right elbow tap, center, step through, frame your front foot, long lunge. So even though now the lunge feels like a rest, stay steady and strong through your vessel. You never know what's coming. We're in eclipse season, y'all. On your exhale, start to fold. So we want to be strong within and without so that when a storm comes, we can withstand. When things are unsteady, we are steady because we have practiced, we have built, we have maintained. If you think about trees, look at how look at their vessels, how strong they are and how they sway with the wind. So they come into a little dance when there's a storm. Right hand to the earth, left hand to the sky, create that portal, earth to sky. Long reach. And then start to reach back. And then left hand to right, spin to Skandasana a few times. There are other ways to build your vessel, of course, other ways to exercise. There's all methods of, breath technique, cold water, things like that. So you want to find what serves you best because we'll all have different ways. Come back to wide-legged fold. Reach long again. We're going to take a little thread and needle. Right hand to center, reach under. Left hand to your right shin. Lengthen your tailbone so left hip is lifted still. And then bend your left elbow and spin underneath your right. Breathe deep. Unwind, reach forward, and then under and spin. So this is a very, unsteady time. We're in, there's just so much, but especially now in this eclipse portal, there's a lot of energetic, cosmic energy that we are feeling. A lot of change. Come back to halfway lift. And so you can notice for yourself what in your life is changing right now. What in your, we are all having massive change. Heels in, toes out, goddess. Hands to the heart, and then to the sky. Sit deep. Feel the strength of your legs. Rise up, Tarasana. Reach up towards the sky. Separate your hands, cactus your arms, and come into a back bend here. So it's a balance challenge as well. Lift from the back of your heart and keep the tailbone long. And then reach up, come to Hakini, fingertips together, re-parallel your feet, unlock your knees, hinge your hips, reach forward. And you come to fingertips level to hips, and then rise up with the strength of your legs. We're gonna do this a few times. Reach forward, knees are unlocked. Rib cage is wrapping in, navel's drawing in. One more time. This is so good for your back body. So strong for your back. Reach forward, touch the earth. Spin back towards your left foot, plant your hands, flow through a vinyasa, if you wish. And then come down to a child's pose of your choice. Wide knees, closed knees, hips back. Check in. So check in, check your body out. Don't check out. Just notice. Feel your breath fill you up into the back of the lungs. Let's come to communication with breath to earth. Exhale to the earth. You can pour your energy, your awareness, your wishes, your intentions down to the ground like seeds. Do this a few times, breathing in, filling up. And then as you breathe out, you pour it down to the ground. A couple more times. I'll meet you back in down dog. Have a block handy to the front of your mat. Take a full and deep breath. And then we're gonna inhale the right leg to rise up. Exhale, pull your knee into your chest, hover. Take a light step through. Make sure you're not on a tightrope, so you might heel toe right foot to the right once or twice. Hands to the heart. Feel your legs root down and pull in towards each other. And then bend your back knee and rise up. Oh, sorry, grab your block. Rise up with your block wide, and then reach up with your block. Squeeze your block together, or squeeze in through your block. And then we're gonna take the thin part of the block to the back of the head, or you could take the wide part as well. It doesn't really matter. Elbows are pointing in towards the, or squeeze your elbows in towards the midline. Press the back of your head into the block and start to curl open to a back bend in your crescent. Keep a deep bend in your front knee. And then you can perhaps reach up with your block. Squeeze in. Start to reach forward. Curl the rib cage up and in. Pour the weight forward. Glide into warrior three. Sorry, I have to move back. So warrior three with the block. Squeeze the block. Left toes towards the floor. Left hip towards the floor. And then start to bend your right knee. Reach up towards the sky. Inhale. Exhale, touch the earth again. Take your right foot over to the right side of your mat, so heel toe. Back knee comes back and down. This should feel nice for your legs and your hips. Lizard lunge. Take a couple breaths here. And then option to stay or to take a twist or a quad stretch, right hand to right thigh, open, spin the heart, and maybe bend your back knee. And take the foot with your hand. You might even roll open through a flexed right foot or come down to your left forearm. Notice what feels good for your vessel. So that's another part of it, is getting to know your body and really getting to offer the body what it needs, and then getting to know the inside, the emotions, and offering the inside what it needs as well. So we strengthen within and without. We work with what's happening above and below. Hands to the earth. Lift your back knee. Come to tented fingertips. Spin right toes out to the right. We're going to step up to Malasana. Squat, hands to the heart. Remember your intention. Remember your wish for the world. Breathe with that. You might feel your heartbeat. We honor that. And then option to grab your strap or reach back, clasp your hands, strengthen your legs, push up, re-square your feet or parallel your feet, and then come into this bound forward fold. If this doesn't feel good, grab opposite elbows in front of you or any other fold that you prefer. You can lift your shoulders away from your ears, shake yes, no. Let out an audible exhale if that feels good. Hands to the earth. Step back, downward dog. You might flow through a vinyasa, you might not. Taking 3 nice deep breaths. Just make sure your block or your book is at the front of your mat. Inhale your left leg to rise. Exhale, curl in. Hover. Feel your strength. Step through. You can have your hands to your block perhaps. Make sure you're not on a tightrope. Bend your back knee. Take your block to your heart. It's the wide way. Your hands are to the sides. Bend your back knee. Reach up. You're in your high crescent lunge. You can square that left outer hip back. And then take the block to the back of the head. Either the thin way, I like it the wide way. But get you want it right under the occiput, so the lip of the block will touch your neck. So you have that support. And then lean back, lift from the back of the heart, elbows in, hugging in towards midline. And then if it feels good for you, you could reach it up. Squeeze in. Start to pull the block to the heart. Lengthen the spine, curl your navel in, ribs in, and then pour the weight and come forward to your warrior three. I can't reach forward, I just don't have room. So another option is hands to the heart as well. But grow long from your crown to your heel. Drop that right hip down. Start to bend that left knee. Reach up, breathe in. Exhale, touch the earth. Oh, thank goddess. Heel to the left foot to the left side of the mat. Back knee is back and down, so. And then left foot is to the left, lizard lunge. Just let the hip flexors open here, front hips. Option to come into your quad stretch or your twist. Spin the left hand to left thigh, open the heart towards the hand. Both shoulders back. Option to take your foot. Option to roll open through your left foot. So there's many, many ways. Slowly release. Hands come back to the earth. Tuck your toes, tented fingertips. Lift your back knee. Spin the left toes out. We're going to take a light step up, Malasana. Hands to the heart, lengthen the spine. Remember your intentions. So we build the outer and the inner. We remember both. And retrograde season, the Mercury retrograde coming and all the other planets, it's about spiraling in, remembering, reconfiguring, and then spiraling out back into the world. So how is it that you want to do that? It's deep work. It's necessary work. One more breath. And then touch the earth. We're going to step back to down dog. On your next breath in, come forward to plank. Right hand to center, roll to your side plank, right side. Option to stack feet in front of each other, on top of each other, or lift. Step it back, wild thing. Root the feet, lift the hips, open the heart, and reach overhead. If that feels good for you. Very slowly, with strength, back to plank, and then down dog. Take a couple breaths just to recalibrate, reconnect. Inhale, we come forward. Left hand to center, maybe slightly forward of your shoulder. Roll to left side. Feet stacked in front or on top. Option to lift. Step back to the ball mound of your foot. Root the feet. I like to bend my knees and then start to open it up. Lift the hips. Reach up and back. And then when it's ready for you, with strength of your vessel, come back to plank. Take a breath in. Exhale, down dog. Stretch it out. Pedal it out, sway it out. Come to child's pose. Take a few breaths in your child's pose. Feel the beat of your heart. the rhythm of your breath. Notice yourself just in this moment as you are. Start to rise up. We're going to come to, actually we'll take a seated forward fold. So we'll come wide through the legs. Wide straddle. Option to have a block in front of you or 2 blocks to catch your gaze or your head. You're going to go as wide as you can through your feet to feel a stretch through the legs, and then maybe you go a little deeper or a little less. Kneecaps towards the sky, toes are active, and you're rooting down through your legs, through your tailbone. Option to have fingertips behind you and just stay like this, or to start to fold forward. Lengthening, you can take your forearms to the earth. Perhaps you take your thumbs to your third eye and come into a prayer or a wish or an intention. So it's all your personal practice. You know, we are existing individually. We have to tend to our personal vessel, our personal paths, but then stay very aware of what is happening around us and how we can contribute to the well-being of everyone, of the planet, of the earth, of humanity, of, you know, animals and plants. And so how can we be, you know, in Rasa yoga, we don't just do yoga, we don't just do the yoga poses. It's a deep practice of internal inquiry, of emotional intelligence, of discovering who am I and how can I serve in the best way for the collective. And how can I take care of myself so that I can show up in the best way for that? So this is more than just postures. And so that in itself is something to honor. Honor that, honor your presence. Take another few breaths here. Letting breath be the guest of your house, the guest of your vessel. How do you treat your guests? How do you treat your home? Start to walk your way back up in the next breath or so. And then we'll take the legs long. Paschimottanasana. It could be that you could squeeze a block in between your legs again if you wanted to hug the midline, root down through the feet, reach up, and then start to fold forward. Hips back and down, heart forward towards the toes. Maybe take your neck long. Bow into everything that you've done. Your efforts, your awareness, your willingness. Here, especially bring the breath up into the back. We'll take a couple more breaths. And then we'll come back up, and now we'll come to our backs. Ooh, before we do, because I've been meaning to do this all class. Before we roll to our backs, come all the way to your belly. We'll come to a full Danda Pranam, the full prayer. Your body as the vessel prayer. Reach forward, zip your legs up, palms forward together, third eye to the earth, heart to the earth, and maybe you bend your elbows and come into Anjali like this. It's as you wish. It's how you want to become your own prayer. So do it in your own way that feels good and authentic. And you are the prayer. You are the ritual. You are the vessel. You are the archetype. You are everything. Three more deep breaths. Fill your lungs. Fill your body. Bring in energy. Exhale what is not needed. A couple more. And then when you're ready, you're going to come onto your back. Take your knees to your chest, just rock side to side. You can roll your hips out a little bit. Give yourself a squeeze, a hug. Thank yourself for showing up and practicing. Take your feet to the earth and wide, knees in. Maybe one hand to your heart, hand to your belly, or hands by your sides, overhead. Come to something that feels good. Just for a moment, notice your body. Think about how your body carries you through life, practice, walks you around. Maybe a bit of gratitude for your body. No, definitely some gratitude. When you are ready, you're gonna lengthen your legs or take the legs up the wall, come into Shavasana. And come into your rest, and I'll talk you through it. I'll stay with you. And little Kaya too. So come into your comfortable place, legs long, or as you wish. And then let everything get heavy. Palms can spin towards the sky. Legs, ankles, heels heavy to the earth. Toes soft, soles of the feet soft. Knees soft, hips heavy to the ground. Your whole back body, your whole spinal column is resting earth. And everything that's touching the earth is also being, reflected by the sky. So earth and sky. Heart open. Shoulders heavy, hands are soft. Notice your face. Relax your jaw, your teeth, your lips, your eyelids, your third eye, your brow, your skin, your skull, your brain, settle into your rest. a deeper breath in to your body, to your vessel. Welcome the breath. And then maybe open your mouth and let the breath leave. It exits your vessel, moves out. Do that a few times. Deepening, lengthening. You can start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Reach long, take a nice long stretch of your body. And then roll to your side for a moment. And then you can make your way to a seat, a comfortable seat. We'll take a mudra together. Fearless heart, cross your right wrist over your left, hook right pinky around left, right middle around left, right pointer around left. Brings us right to the center, right to the center of the heart. Take a bow to yourself, your practice, your vessel, in and out. And then Anjali, take your thumbs to your third eye, inhale up to the sky, breathe in. And then as we exhale, we bow to each other. Thank you for practicing. Have a good day. And remember, stay tuned for another way that it'll be through Zoom and it won't be through Facebook Live. As of now, Chrissy will still have her Facebook Live on Thursdays, but we're gonna be chatting, so we'll keep you posted. Still accepting donations on Venmo at the Moon and the Mat. And thank you so much. I'll see you soon.